We are the current holders of the Carabao Cup. In today's episode, we are playing in the semi-final as we look to head back to Wembley and retain the Carabao Cup. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Lufc Fm22. A big thank you for joining me today on another episode of Leeds United Pride of Yorkshire. So if you were with us yesterday, you'd have seen us beat Bournemouth quite convincingly. We have rolled on since then. We have played all cup games since that game. Let's show you how we've been getting on then in terms of the schedule. So, surprisingly, after we beat Bournemouth 3-0 in the Premier League, we had a boring 0-0 draw in the home leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final against Norwich. They held us very, very well, restricted them to only having one shot on target. We had about 12, couldn't break through, and it turned into a bit of a bore score. We could see quite early that nothing was going to get past them, and it turned out to be the case. And then last time out, we beat Middlesbrough 2-1 in the FA Cup. Notice this, Middlesbrough moved out of their current stadium to move into their Juninho Paulista Park this season. Not sure why they would have needed a new ground, but hey ho. Goals from Burak Ince and an own goal from S. Sluga, making sure that we get through to the next round of the FA Cup, where we will face off against Cardiff. That then brings us on nicely to today's game. No need to mess about or try and catch up with anything else because nothing has happened at all. We are going to jump into the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg and show you how we get on. Here we go then. As the current holders of the Carabao Cup, we are looking to get back to Wembley again to try and retain the title. However, we are going to rotate in this game. I have a feeling that the Premier League is the most important thing. We want to take that back from Manchester United. So maybe keeping a few players back and keeping a few players fresh is going to help us win that Premier League as quickly as we can. But still, the lineup for today's game is going to be Meslier in goal, Firpo, Zubeldia, Varane, and Wisdom Amay is going to come in at right back. Gravenberch, Calvin Phillips the holding two. De La Fuente, Endrio, and Rafinha will be the attacking three. And we are giving a debut to Hoyland. So Rasmus Hoyland is currently unhappy because he hasn't been able to get out of the under-21s until now. It's kind of a forgotten signing. We brought him in last season, loaned. In fact, that's 2 seasons ago now, isn't it? So we bought him in 2 seasons ago, loaned him out to Werder Bremen last season, which is probably why we forgot about him. He's played 31 games, scored 10 goals in the Bundesliga. And then if you look down here at his stats, in non-competitive games for our under-21s, he's played 29 games. He scored 37 goals. So thinking he's not registered for the Premier League, he's not registered for the Champions League, we're going to give him a go in the Carabao Cup. We've been playing Louis Barry in this competition, but today we're going to give this kid a chance and see what he's made of. So let's find out exactly what he's made of by playing against Norwich in the second leg of the semi-final. The players then exit the tunnel, enter the pitch, do the huddles. Everything is up and running. We are looking to get back to Wembley again. It would be nice to have another visit there. We already have 2 Carabao Cups on our resume, but Mr. Sargent over there has different ideas about that. He has scored the first goal of the game, it seems. The referee is having the VAR check, and this goal is going to stand, it seems. He has timed the run to perfection. What is Meslier doing there? Illan Meslier, not a clue what has happened there. That's just a little bit crazy. Just gets caught on the penalty spot. The ball's gone right over his head, and then Sargent tapped it in. But we are on the attack now. We have a corner kick, which is going to be swung in by Rafinha. Plays towards the near post where Varane is there, and Endrio is on the back stick to get an equaliser and get us straight back into this game. 23 minutes on the clock. That is just what we were looking for. I think it's a little bit of a settler in terms of the nerves of the game because some of our players didn't seem to be performing really well. And Endrio pops up. I don't know if that's his actual first goal for the first team. I'm not 100% sure. He doesn't play many games, Endrio, but he's popped up with a big goal at a big time. And we are now sensing there could be blood in the water. As Firpo turns, he's going to run at his man, crosses it in. And there is Rasmus Højlund with his first goal of the season. I said this kid had scored goals in the under-21s team and the developmental team. Wow, there is proof of it. Firpo gets the ball, turns his man, beats him. When the cross comes in, I'm thinking this is too deep. But there's two men there. One doesn't jump, but Højlund does, beats the goalkeeper, and we have hit the front in the tie. And that trip to Wembley might be on after all. This is a bit crazy. Football Manager doesn't normally do this to the human user. We've had 2 attempts on goal and scored 2 goals. So I hope that can continue as the goalkeeper has kicked it long. Norwich are going to try and look to come down the left-hand side here. Gray plays it inside to Sargent. He's turned and played it to Wilson. He's hit the post. Varane then plays it back to Meslier, who kicks it to Barr. And Norwich are in an attacking position. Not too sure what Meslier is doing in this game. He's had that dodgy moment coming out for the free kick, and then he's had that there where he's kicked the ball straight to the opposition. If we hadn't scored the 2 goals, I'd have said we were in trouble in this game. But we get in at half time somehow, 2-1 up. Norwich could have easily have had the equaliser that hit the inside of the post, and if Meslier don't book his ideas up, I'm thinking I might need to substitute him off just to keep us in this game because he's doing crazy things. Although, in fairness to him, he's probably going to survive because we've got players who are looking worse than what he is, like Rafinha, De La Fuente, Junior Firpo. Going to give it to around the 75-minute mark and then maybe make some substitutions because not a lot is happening all of a sudden. And we are at that point now. So Harvey Elliott is going to come on in place of Rafinha at the back. Varane is going to come off for Mengi as we look to keep Rafa Varane fresh. I have to say, Raphael Varane has been an amazing signing in terms of being a rock-solid centre-back at the age that he is. Seems to have raised the game of Konate and Wisdom Ame. I think he's the missing link. If we'd have probably signed him a couple of years ago, we probably would have had a couple more Premier League titles to our name because the defending has been so much better with him in that back line. And Norwich are looking to spoil our party. 84 minutes on the clock and they haven't given it up. They are still on the attack. As the ball comes down the right-hand side now, Tete is going to cross it in. And they have spoilt the party. Damari Gray scores. Kenny Tete set the goal up. Damari Gray's there on the back stick. He headers the ball home and maybe we shouldn't have took Varane off. The defending has just gone all over the place. Nobody closing him down. Gray's just walked onto the header. Hasn't even had to jump. He's literally just walked onto the header. And that makes it 2-2 in the tie. And we're going to get the dreaded extra time if something doesn't happen in the next 3 minutes. And we are going to extra time. Norwich fans are bouncing around in the stadium. Not going to change anything. Although Calvin Phillips, Junior Firpo, Conrad De La Fuente, Wisdom and May are all knackered. They are out on their feet. So probably Calvin Phillips is the one. I'm going to bring Bentancur on with Phillips just to try and steady the ship in the middle of the pitch. And hopefully Bentancur can bring a bit of quality with his passing. As Harvey Elliott has a corner swung in, Mengi heads it, hits the top of the crossbar, goes out for a goal kick. And we are at half time in extra time. You know what's coming here. We've been down this path before. The penalty shootout is a very, very big possibility. Although the ball is pinged forward by Wisdom and May, the goalkeeper's lumped it back forwards to Junior Firpo. Turns, tries to beat his man and does so. If he can lay the ball off inside, he had a pass on. Instead, he just gives the ball to Wilson. And now Norwich are knocking it about quite comfortably. Can somebody pinch the ball? Bentancur with his fresh legs can pinch the ball. Harvey Elliott gets it. What can he do? Plays it back to Bentancur, to Gravenberch, De La Fuente. Somebody out here. Instead, they spread the play over the other side to Harvey Elliott. He's passed it into the box. Matthias Scally with the finish. And oh no, here comes the VAR check. It says he might just have been fractionally offside. Let's hope not. We do not want to go to penalties. We want this goal to stand. It's not. It's disallowed. Matthias Scally there thinking that he has snatched it away from Norwich, but no, he's clearly offside, isn't he? It's a great finish though, right footed into the top of the net. Just a shame that it doesn't count. Time is ticking away. It was only ever going to go one place, wasn't it? It's going to go to penalties. Matthias Scally is locked in as the number one. Harvey Elliott's displaying little emotion, but he's going to go two. Then Gravenberch. Then Zubeldia and De La Fuente. That's going to be the five that are going to take the penalty kicks. Let's set them on their way. I'll hand it over to the assistant there. We don't want to give them the silent treatment, do we? So this is it, the dreaded penalty kicks. Let's get comfortable in the seat because this is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. I think Wilson steps up and the first one for Norwich is missed. It's hit the crossbar. I thought Meslier might have managed to get his hand up there. He didn't. It hits the crossbar. And now Scally, who is our best penalty taker, straight down the middle. 1-0 to us after the first round of penalties. Danny Gomez is going to step up for Norwich. What can he do with his penalty? He steps up confidently and tucks it away nicely. Meslier guessed the right way, but was not ever going to get to that. Not even if he'd have took off earlier than what he did, was he getting near that. So Harvey Elliott stepping up for us now, and his penalty is saved. Left-footed, keeper guessed the right way, got up high, got his hand to the ball, and all of a sudden, we're back to level peggings. Norwich take the lead. Another great penalty from Stacey, down low, keeper cannot get to those. And now Gravenberch is going to step up for us. What can he do with it? And he has hit it straight at the goalkeeper. And Ryan Gravenberch, oh dearie me, this is going to give Norwich the upper hand. Oh, the penalty could have been saved. It's hit pretty much straight. Menier's gone to ground. It's gone over him. And this now means it comes down to the next penalty. Zubeldia was just walking into his own man on the halfway line. He might need to get a bit of a jog on here because we want this penalty taken today. Okay, so he arrives at the edge of the penalty area. He's got a jog on. He needs to score. He does score to keep us in it. But it means that Norwich only have to score this penalty, and they are going to be the ones going to Wembley, and they will dethrone us from our status as holders of the Carabao Cup. Is this Connor Cody? It's Cody. He steps up and he scores the penalty that sends Norwich there. You could sense it from extra time. As soon as they scored, got themselves back into the game, you knew what was going to happen. There's no way that the game was going to be settled in extra time, even with Scally's smashed shot into the roof of the net. But that is football and Football Manager sometimes. You can't win them all. We have been on an absolutely fantastic run. It's going to go down as a red circle, even though really it's a amber one because we drew the game 2-2. But that run of form from the Liverpool game in the first episode of Season 6 all the way through to the Norwich game on the 12th of January. That's the first red dot since then. The run has been fantastic. It's given us a big gap in the Premier League. It's put us through into the next round of the Champions League and the FA Cup. Unfortunately, we couldn't book our place back at Wembley for the Carabao Cup. So that means we are on the move again. And I think the next logical place is probably to come back for the Lyon game in the Champions League. We will have Lyon on the 23rd of February in the first knockout round, first leg. So yes, we will skip. We've got West Ham, Norwich, Sheffield United, Chelsea, then Cardiff in the fourth round, Man City, Tottenham, and we'll be back for the Lyon game. Disappointing then to be heading out at the semi-final stage. Our reign as Carabao Cup holders is over as Norwich do progress. Could tell as soon as they got that goal back right at the end of the game, nothing was going to stop them in extra time. and the penalties. Even though they missed the first one and I thought we had the upper hand, they took some brilliant penalties. And at the end of the day, that happens sometimes in Football Manager. You can't win them all. Right, if you're at this point of the video, you've enjoyed today's content and today's episode, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel out. I appreciate every single person that has stopped by, interacted with the channel, left that thumbs up. But for this one, I'm going to leave it there. Come back tomorrow as we face off against Lyon in the Champions League.